you ready to honor the legacy of my brother and hip-hop legend Shock G and make a difference in the community? Show your support for the East Oakland Collective, EOC, by purchasing the new Shock G Humpty t-shirt designed by Shamari Smith. It's available at beatsforhope.com. My brother Shock G was a multi-platinum hip-hop pioneer and producer who was deeply committed to helping the community, culture, and music of his time. His vision for helping humanity was honorable and has inspired people to come together and see to those that need important attention and love. By purchasing the new Shock G Humpty t-shirt, you are supporting the EOC, which helps provide essential services in East Oakland. Together, we can make a difference as we honor Shock G's legacy and support our friends at the EOC. Get your Shock G Humpty t-shirt today.
Welcome to Sweet Fingers, where the flavors of Jamaica come alive. Our talented chefs blend authentic Jamaican ingredients with a touch of love and passion. From tender oxtail stew to flavorful coconut shrimp to our snapper fish, we serve up the best of Jamaican cuisine. Whether you're looking for a taste of Jamaica or an unforgettable dining experience, Sweet Fingers is the place to be. Feel the rhythm, taste the spice, and immerse yourself in the vibrant Jamaican nightlife at our restaurant, where every night becomes a celebration of island flavors and unforgettable experiences. Come and experience the soulful flavors of Jamaica today. Nobody does it like Sweet Fingers, baby.
Mary, without Mary, man, let me know.
Well,
The police?
police. That's
Live by the sword, die by the sword, has become a common expression, adapted from Jesus. Words to Peter, the proverb meaning is still basically the same. A person who lives violently will probably at some point be killed. In a violent manner, violence begets violence. Those who practice violence will come to a violent end. I say it again. Those who practice violence will come to a violent end.
I used to shoot all my videos with Hooker Boy. I used to.
Hey, it's Bay Life All Day TV Channel 0, man. I'm with a Denny from 11.5, if you didn't know, huh? Straight out the lion's mouth. Yeah, and your bitch if you didn't know. You know what I'm saying? It's a worldwide movement right now.
What that young Bay Life did take, right?
I'm out little Bay Life, man. Just look like this. What it do?
We out here in San Francisco, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the Bay Life, man. We be everywhere, man. Oakland, nigga. Bay Life, nigga.
You are part of this. You watching Channel 0, Bay Life TV.
What it do? It's your boy Igor Beach from Bay Life Entertainment. You watching Channel 0. We down here in Caribbean City, live at Little Al's Video Studio. This is the place to be every Wednesday.
What it do? It's Igor Beach, live on Bay Life TV. You watching Channel 0. I'm live here with Kali IB.
Igor Beach, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna show you how we do this for real, you know what I'm saying?
It's the hardest underground promotion team right here. Bay Life Entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Unstoppable Stewards.
All right, everybody. How's everybody doing out there? Happy Monday to ya. I am one half of the Unstoppable Stewards. My partner in crime, my wife, she is out enjoying her vacay, so shout out to her. And I had to bring a special guest up in here with me this afternoon, the unstoppable man himself. You know what I'm saying? Big Low.
How everybody doing? Thanks for having me, my brother. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
It's a blessing to, reach out and talk to somebody that's on the same type of path that we on about, being here for these kids and you being here for these kids from the sports side of things, but as well as life lessons is a beautiful thing, whereas me and my wife are trying to get in these schools and help those that are in school get the necessary tools that they need so that they could be better representatives of us once they get to our age. Both of those things come together. That's why we're here today.
Amen. I just believe in we got to save ourselves. We got to save our own communities. We got to save our own children. We can't wait on the school system to save us. We've been waiting. We've been depending on the juvenile system, and they've been failing us.
Yes.
So we don't want to depend on the jail system.
Right.
We want to help our people, man. And
Yes.
that's what we're here for. That's what God put us here for.
Absolutely. That's real big because Lord knows we need help out there. And these babies is out here at risk at an alarming rate. And what you doing with the football teams in Berkeley, California, for those of you who don't know where my big brother is from, representing to the fullest about getting this message out to empower these young men to be better black men once they grow up. And it's starting from the root at the Pop Warner level, just like we're in the elementary schools doing the same exact thing, just from a whole different narrative. And that's really what this is about, a each one teach one moment that we strive all day, every day to continue to keep pushing to these children.
Absolutely. But I just want to say, before I started the football, I started a foundation called Young Lives Matter.
Okay.
I don't know, somebody, sometimes you might have seen the logo
Right.
on Facebook or even heard about some of the events that I do with the kids in the community. We got our logo, our motto, on the field, off the streets.
Right.
Before I started the football organization, I started the foundation
Gotcha.
to mentor kids.
That's right.
But I wasn't getting enough kids, to show up for mentoring and everything.
Okay.
So it wasn't no football program in Berkeley after the Berkeley Cougars left and then the Berkeley Bears.
Right.
There wasn't no football in Berkeley. A friend of mine came with the idea, hey man, you need to start a football team.
Right.
And I just ran with it from there. I knew that will bring kids.
Right.
So all the kids that's in our organization, this is our 7th year with the Berkeley Junior Jackets.
Man, that's
all of
big.
the kids
That's
is
big.
under Young Lives Matter Foundation.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
we try to teach the kids it's more about football. I mean,
Yes.
we use football as a net to
Right.
get their attention because,
Exactly.
our
Because
kids. Go
them
ahead.
life lessons. Them
Yeah.
life lessons
Yeah.
ain't no joke.
Absolutely.
And I hear what you're saying. It's like through football, I can still instill these other lessons.
Absolutely.
So single mothers out there, don't be running away saying you don't want your son playing football because they get more than just the ability to run and catch a ball or whatever the case may be. It's some real lessons about real men. So send your child to play football.
We deal with a lot of things, We deal with conflict resolution.
Yes.
Child obesity, because there's a lot of kids that's not eating healthy.
Right.
So they out there, they exercising, they losing weight, they getting stronger and faster and more healthier.
Right.
Their hearts are healthier. We deal with violence prevention because,
Right.
it's a lot of violence that's going on in the schools. There's a lot of bullying that's going on in school.
Absolutely.
So, besides football, we have a mentorship. We mentor kids.
That march we did.
That march, that peace
Yeah.
walk.
That peace walk.
we
That
did.
that was
Yes.
big, and I wanted the viewers to hear you talk about, how that was, and then how are we going to form another peace march where we can actually get out there, because what was going on in our side of town, for those of you who don't know, I'm from North Oakland, and my big brother's from Berkeley, and our sides of towns for years now have been in conflict. And a lot of that stuff is, it don't make no sense. We don't understand it, and we didn't live there our whole lives. It's just things that just don't make sense, and we trying to come to some type of narrative to say enough is enough. So we speak from a whole different generation, but at the same time, we know what y'all going through, and that's why we pushing the line to stop all this ignorance out there.
Yeah. Well, the Peace Walk was about just bringing peace in the community and all over the Bay Area. You know, Berkeley is a small town. You know, everybody is family, linked to a chain at one end. You know, but it's a lot of conflict and there's a lot of confusion and it's a lot of, you know, war going on with Waterfront, South Berkeley, and that Peace Walk, you know, and North Oakland. So that Peace Walk, and my brother was there. We all walked. We had cats from West Oakland, North Oakland, Berkeley there, walking for peace, letting the youngsters know, listen, we could come together, us old cats could come together for peace. You guys can make peace, you know. So, like I said earlier, we're not waiting on the police or the system to save our youth. We're gonna make an example. We're gonna lead by example and get out there 10 toes down.
Absolutely.
You know, like my brother here, when he came home, we met up, we talked. I was so happy to see him, and I was so happy on the path that where he was going. You know, I just smile every time I look at this brother, you know, because I know where he came from. I know this brother. You know what I'm saying? I personally know him. You know what I'm saying? And it just makes me feel good to be a part of this podcast, even talking about what we talking about right now, that we still here to talk about.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
because sadly, you know, a lot of us played out real quick, and life ain't supposed to be as short as it was for some of them brothers. You know what I mean? They supposed to still be here, but the ignorance that we come up in and don't know no better, and we take these ill-fated understandings and try to make them our life's mission. You know, false belief systems. That's what I call them. And we live by these codes. And then once you get old enough to understand, if you make it that far to get it, you realize that these belief systems that we were attached to was full of shit.
Right, absolutely.
And so that's why I came home ready and willing to get on the front line with these babies and say enough is enough, because I have now seen it from both ends. Working in Contra Costa school system, I was able to literally hear psychiatrists in the schools, and having heard psychiatrists in prison use the same exact verbiage. So it's almost like it's a pipeline that you're trying to take these babies down, or like how they scoop up schools of fish in the water, and whichever fish get away, then they get away, but everybody else is caught up in that net. Sadly, that net is too fucking big for people, and we got to stop this.
Absolutely, man. I just believe that God put us here for a reason. What we doing, because the thing is, you got two guys doing some things in the community that had experience. You know, that walked down some dark roads, you know, and just understand. Nowadays, these kids don't understand because, like that saying, what glitters may not be gold, but they think everything that glitter is gold. Everything they see on social media, they think it's real. They think they can do it. You know what I'm saying? And we just here to let them know, listen, I'm going to plant this seed. I'm going to build this foundation and give you some wisdom and a word of righteousness so you can understand. Like when I was coming up, I played sports, and the coaches, they looked out for me, picked me up, they fed me. I'm just doing the same thing that I was taught, and it was a foundation and it was seed planted. You know, once I ran the streets and did what I did, that seed was there. It was time to give back. And I'm just trying to give back and be part of the solution and not the problem.
Opposed to problem. Yes, I get it. I mean, that's what we doing right here. As y'all know, every Monday, twitch.tv/BayLife Radio, giving it to you raw and uncut. We are the Unstoppable Stewards, and as I told y'all once before, I'm with my special guest, Big Low, you know what I'm saying, up out of Berkeley, and life is good, and we trying to make this situation better all day, every day, coming at you live every Monday from 3 to 4. You know what it is. So step up, call in. The call-in number is area code 510-563-7819. You know, we always get 1 or 2 callers. Somebody want to call in and say something. Tap in. We'd love to hear from you.
Tap in, y'all. Tap in. And all the parents out there, if you're looking for mentors, tap in.
Yes.
Tap in. We're here for the babies. October 7th, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That's the date. We're having a, what is it called? It's called Boys to Men.
Okay.
It's called Boys to Men. It's a mentorship where we're going to have speakers.
Okay.
We're going to have a dinner for all the young men. We're going to have food, good food for them. And we're
Okay.
just going to give them words of wisdom, words of advice.
Yes.
We like them to dress up in suits, ties, or a button-down shirt.
Yes.
You know, this will be the 2nd annual one, and I believe October 7th. If the date change due to any conflict, I will let you know, and I'll be on social media. I'm
Yes.
on Facebook, Lorenzo Grayson, and I'm on Instagram under Lorenzo Grayson, ENT.
And we also have on Facebook The Unstoppable Stewards that if there's any clothes donation for any of the young men that might want to attend that can't afford a suit, a tie, or a pair of shoes, you can definitely contact us on Facebook under Unstoppable Stewards, and we can definitely get what we need to get to those babies so that they could be shitty sharp.
Yeah.
Shitty sharp.
Right.
You know what I mean, when it's time to step out.
Right.
But as we go on through this hour, we would like to give a special respects to being that it is September 11th. You know, unfortunately, you know, we know what happened 22 years ago with them planes running into them buildings. So, out of respect, you know, we want to pay our ultimate respects and say God bless those, because you know that was a real situation that changed the course of how people fly today and all kind of different things, you know. And unfortunately, as evil prevailed in that situation, it also seeped itself out and caused Arabs and other different people to be under scrutiny, Muslims and people of that nature, behind this particular act. And it's like, it's still going on, and it's sad. It's sad. It ain't just, you know, we already getting hit from both ways as being blacks, but now you got these individuals getting the same treatment as we getting, and even worse now, because the system has stepped in and said that these people are our enemies, and they not.
Absolutely. So don't believe everything you hear on the news.
No,
okay?
not at all.
Do your research.
For real.
Yes. Always fact check.
And that goes for the neighborhood, because you might be mad at somebody that you actually related to. Shout out to family reunions in the summertime. You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
Like, you know, go to one. You just might run into your enemy and realize that y'all related.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because sadly, you know, in our communities, we don't find out we're related until we at a funeral.
Right.
Like, ain't this about a blip, or we in the courtroom and somebody is coming out the back and they got family members from both sides, and that ain't how this supposed to be going. So the narrative to that is find out who you are.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You must find out who you are.
Fact check. History check. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
History. Pick up the phone and call your loved ones.
Absolutely.
You know, ask grandma questions.
For real.
You know, Granny know everything.
She definitely does. For real, man. But, you know, we just kicking it, enjoying this Monday, and paying homage, you know what I'm saying, to the big homie being up in here with me today. I thank him for coming. And we just, you know, doing what we do at this unstoppable moment in this unstoppable hour. Shout out to my wife out there enjoying herself on her vacay. She's supposed to be tapping in a minute, so I'm going to look forward to hearing from her, because she's going to have a whole bunch of crazy-ass women on the other line with her yelling from Jamaica.
Right. And I apologize. I did not tell nobody I was going to be here today.
Right.
I didn't even get the information out. I apologize. I know it's recorded, so
Right.
they can hear it.
Yeah.
But I apologize because I know I would have some callers asking some questions.
No doubt, but don't even trip. Like, this platform right here is big. And shout out to the big homie Ig over there doing his thing, the ones and twos. You already know what it is. But we come on here weekly spreading this gospel about empowering these kids.
Absolutely.
The name of the game is the children.
Yes.
And if we ain't behind them, who are we behind?
Yes.
Because we can't do nothing for a crooked politician. He already old and stinking. He gonna keep doing him. You know what I'm saying? That's who he is, and that's what's gonna happen. And everybody can sit here and cry about it, but is you really gonna get out here and be about it? Because right now we need folks on the front line.
And just what my brother said, this is about the kids. What we doing is about the kids.
Yes.
So I just got something to say to some of these parents, especially these sports parents. You in the stands, you cussing at kids, you hollering at kids and everything. Come on, that's verbal abuse.
Yes, it is.
Okay? And then you hollering at other folks' kids.
Wow.
It's not about you, it's about the kids. Your time came when you was that age to be a cheerleader or a football player, basketball player, baseball player. Your time is over with. Let these kids shine and stop putting all this pressure on them. Stop yelling from the stands, cussing people out. Just kick back and watch the game. That's all we need you to do.
You heard it first from a coach. A coach. You heard it first from a coach, because we didn't see quite a few blow-ups on Instagram and different places like that where, you know, it didn't turn into something totally different. It's supposed to be about the kids, and y'all in the stands fighting.
In the stands fighting. You're bringing guns to the games and everything. If you got to bring a gun somewhere, you shouldn't even be there.
Right.
Especially around some kids.
Exactly.
If you're going to a kid event and you know you got to bring a gun, just don't show up, man. It's not about you. It's not for you. You guys embarrassing these kids.
Yeah, for real. I mean,
y'all really embarrassing these kids. These kids are ashamed to even play sports now.
yeah, and that's sad because, I mean, sports was always an outlet for us. It was a release. It was something to look forward to as football season came around. Everybody was amped to be out there playing. Me, myself, I played for the Berkeley Cougars. Shout out. Heard they ain't in the B no more. That's unfortunate. You know what I mean? But, yeah, we were, like, real just in the football. And that was our thing. And it was like for that to just it motivated a lot of people in a positive way and taught people right from wrong and understanding and for the, you know, the parents to be in the stands acting the way that they acting, you taking away from the whole love of the game, for real.
It's unacceptable, man. Like my brother said, you know, sports, man. I met a lot of friends through sports. A lot of friends. I mean, from different cities.
Right.
You know, that I know right now because we played football together.
Right.
I was in Atlanta probably 15 years ago. I heard somebody calling my name. And there was a cat that I played for the Berkeley Cougars with and probably 81, 82.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Von Ray.
Right.
Wherever you at, man.
Right.
You know, but he was living in Atlanta then.
Right.
I haven't seen that brother before then, like in 25 years, but he remembered me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he haven't seen me since I was a kid, and he remembered me as a grown man.
Imagine
and that's from sports. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
that connection. That's a real connection.
Exactly.
Yeah, a real connection. You know what I mean? And you just never know the impact of who you will touch in that moment, because that's what this whole process is about. This unstoppable stewards process is about touching people and getting them to, you know, dig into themselves and understand the purpose of who they are. We are here every Monday, giving it to you raw from 3 to 4. You know what I mean? We're going to take a quick break and double back in a minute. And shout out to everybody listening. Phone in.
Phone in. We got answers.
I visit your city, it's just like
I'll let you breathe. I'm waking up in the hospital now, and you know, I can make a whole lot of shit crumble, bro.
Skip that nigga over the bitch.
Word on the street is this nigga PJ riding around telling motherfuckers I done killed Courtney. My nigga. You feel what I'm saying? Okay. I need you to take care of PJ.
I don't know, be playing, man. Tell him, we trying to make something happen, though, so nigga ain't got too much time to be waiting on it.
I'm gonna get the white bitch on it.
What white bitch?
White bitch I took from Joe.
See, that's the shit I be talking about, man. It's always setting bigger with your plans.
You know that shit? But the bitch don't know me. Really have to tell you though, right? That nigga PJ ain't cool, bro.
What he doing?
That nigga out here selling that fake shit, that stepped on shit, and he saying he getting it from us.
Lights out. Paying the fucking price, bitch.
What's going on, y'all? It's Chewy Gomez out here with the Lava May folks. These folks are doing a great job and a great service to the community for those folks out there that are homeless, and not even the homeless. I mean, there's a lot of folks that are using this that aren't homeless, right?
It's true, yeah. There's a lot of low-income folks or folks that are housed in places where maybe the showers don't work, or they're unsavory, or maybe they're not private, or not always hot. So we do serve primarily houseless folks on the street.
Now, folks taking a shower, they don't want to get back in their dirty clothes. Is there an option for them to get some clothes at all here? I don't know.
We do have clothing donations. You know, it's all donation based, so the stock fluctuates. But we do have a lot of volunteers or even community members that bring clothes out. So we typically do stock underwear and socks always. If you got goods.
Oh, nice. So if you guys got some socks, you guys care to donate, you got some extra shirts. You know, we all outgrow our shirts. I'm into a 3X now, so I got to donate my 2Xs. But yo, get down there and connect with lavamay.org and make your donations.
So if you want to help out, you can do it right now by purchasing one of these shirts here. Go to beatsforhope.com and get one of these Bay Day LA Lava May shirts. All proceeds are going to be going right here to the lavamay.org organization. Thank you for your time, man. Yeah. Appreciate you so much.
Thanks for coming.
Right now we need some love.
All right, y'all, we back. You know what I'm saying? Bringing it in once again, the Unstoppable Stewards. I am one half of it, but my wife, she's out, in Jamaica, running around doing her. And I'm here with my big homie out of Berkeley, Big Low.
What's up?
Yeah, so we was chopping it up about these babies, man, and the fact that from the elementary school level to the Pop Warner level, those are two levels that are similar in stature based on age and who we're dealing with. And our objective is to kind of like get them out of this mode of what they're seeing, but it's hard because some of these babies come from some real traumatic experiences. They've seen a lot of stuff, and from where we are implementing these programs that are in plain sight to these parents in elementary school, which is the IEP plan and the 504 plan, which is forcing these schools to test these kids and find out the level of understanding that they have so that they can teach them at that level and not say that they are slow or not knowing, you know what I'm saying? Basically just screwing over them and throwing them to the side because they're not learning as fast as the rest of the kids. So it's a big thing, and then that channels to where you are with the sports, and you might have certain kids that don't necessarily pick up on a play that y'all then orchestrated. They you know what I'm saying, and they get yelled at, and you don't necessarily understand why. So I'm telling you, because this is information that you need to go back to the field with and understand that this child is not necessarily learning at the capacity of the other child. And there's no knock on him, but if you explain it to him probably in a different manner, he might get exactly what this other child ain't got.
Absolutely. Well, I'm just picking back off of what you're saying. I don't understand when a doctor could diagnose a kid with anything just because he's moving too much.
Right.
I don't understand that because when you from where we from, you might you grew up different. You might hear gunshots.
Right.
You might hear arguing, fussing, and fighting.
Right.
And you just might be your body language.
Right.
You know, and parents, stop letting these doctors give you guys kids all this medicine.
Oh, listen, we tell parents that we talk to, me and my wife, that before you decide to go the written way or one of those sins or liens or liens, whatever that's attached to them, before you decide to do that to your child, let us give you this information about this 504 plan and this IEP plan. Let us force the system to test your child to know at what capacity they learn at, and then from there, you can, you know what I'm saying, say if your child still needs to be on medication. Because the go-to is the medication, but that's the gateway that once an individual gets addicted to that medication and they grow up of a particular age, then they seek other medication, which is on the street. That's breeding your child to be addicted to drugs.
Absolutely. And obesity, because some of these medicines is just blowing your kids up where they can't even walk no more.
Right.
You know, and I see it all the time. I see these kids, and I could tell the ones that's on medication.
Right.
And because they gaining weight, within a year, they come back to our program, they like 50, 75 pounds bigger.
Wow.
You know, so, and some of the parents, they tell me, and I tell them, please take them off of that.
Right.
Take him off of that. And I watch these kids come to this football team and develop into a football player within a year when they parents telling us, my kid can't do this, my kid can't do that.
Right.
It's the environment you put these kids in.
Exactly.
You know, and then kids understand trust and love. When they know you love them and trust them, then that's when they listen. I didn't have parents come to me, oh, little Johnny don't listen to this and listen to that.
Right.
But once little Johnny likes something and trusts something, he will listen.
Yes.
He will listen.
And that's a beautiful thing. It's like what you're doing is what parents wish they could do, which is get they kids to listen.
Yes.
And then once they listen, then they able to actually say, okay, I want to do what you telling me to do.
But you know, it's hard for your kids to listen when they 5 years old and you give them an iPhone to be their babysitter.
Right.
It's 5 and 6 year olds, and I'm 54 years old, that can work an iPhone better than me. Parents, stop letting your kids lock themselves up in the room with this phone because you don't know what they learning. You don't, and you don't check on them. You know, and stop letting them eat all this fast food and all these chemicals.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep, and it's like it's so many subliminal messages going on within the system that we could sit here literally for 10 hours, let alone one, and talk about the hidden agenda that is and I say like predator on your child. From the supermarket to the things that they walk down the street and just see, everything is a target. And that's not on no super like, ooh, I'm way somewhere in a whole nother planet. It is fact. And when you've lived a certain amount of time and been able to actually see it and decipher it, you understand what it is. And it's sad that this stuff is still playing out. Here it is, we are in our 50s and watching these youngsters go through the exact same systematic situation over and over again. And that's why we are trying to stop that.
Stop read the labels on what you're feeding your kids. All these flaming hot Cheetos and these Takis, all this stuff got this cancer up in that.
Man.
All that stuff is cancerous.
Yes,
I'm telling you, start reading and educating yourself on what you're feeding your children.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, you're wondering why his face breaking out. You wondering why he got eczema and all this and asthma and all this.
Yes.
Sometimes it's because what they eating.
Absolutely. And you hearing it first right here at the Unstoppable Stewards. You know what it is. Every Monday from 3 to 4, we on this twitch.tv/Baylife Radio. Tap in. You know what I'm saying? It's real up in here. And we talking about saving your kid, our kids, and every kid that's out there that need some type of help, because you'll be surprised. People walk around with these masks on and they assume, I got to have this mask on because if anybody see me, I got to be this certain way. But they be hurting inside and be afraid to admit it. And these kids, all that anger and that rage is building up. And what we trying to do is obtain it, understand it, and help them through it before they get to a point in their life to where they can't take it no more and that shit busts. And when it busts, it could bust on one of us or it could bust internally on them where they want to hurt themselves. We trying to stop that because the suicide rate with young African-American men is ridiculous right now.
Absolutely. Hey, childhood trauma is serious and it's real. I still suffer from some childhood trauma.
Right.
And that's why I speak on it. That's why I speak to these young men about what they're going through. That's why I let them and lead them to trust me, and I love them to death.
Yes.
And one thing I don't do, I don't tell them something that I'm not going to do.
Absolutely.
I stand by my word, and they know I stand by my word. And that's why they love and respect me.
Yes, we applaud that. That's real big right there, because trauma information is being trauma informed. And if you trauma informed, then you can understand the things that you're going through and better be able to deal with them, because a lot of us suffer from that, not understanding what we're going through. Sad.
Absolutely.
Sad. But
and the thing is, it's a lot of crime going on. I watch the news, see all these youngsters, all this bipping, all this robbing and stealing, and I wish I had time or get a chance to just sit down and talk to them. I was watching a special just a couple weeks ago. It was a woman interviewing a young man, and she asked him, why are you out here robbing, and there's so many jobs out here? And his answer was, I could go out and rob for 2 hours and make like $600. I don't have to work for 8 hours.
Sure.
I mean, just that mentality is scary.
Yeah,
it's scary, and that's why we're trying to catch these youngsters while they're young to plant that seed so they won't believe that nonsense and that foolishness.
Right. I mean, because a kid is quickly influenced by what they see. They see it in the household, they emulate it. Then they come to the streets, they see another form of how to act and what to do, and they emulate that. And then that forms their identity. That's what happened with us. Mm-hmm. We saw it, we emulated it, we did it. And now that same situation is happening in real time at the end of a phone. The only thing is these young ladies is trying to emulate something that is virtually impossible. And they are killing themselves trying to emulate that. And these youngsters out here, these young men, are trying to emulate something that is going to put them in the penitentiary for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. Or in the grave, is your pick, and we just need help. We all need to work together from each end of cities to cities.
It's a triangle.
Yes.
It's a triangle, and each end got a touch.
Yes.
And everything in the middle of that thing is what we helping.
Absolutely.
So we keep it within the triangle. We can micromanage this situation and help one kid at a time, because it's about one kid and then the next. And we keep pushing. As you see, Unstoppable is for real. We don't just talk about it. We are about it. We be about it. Every Monday from 3 to 4, and then when we ain't on air, we still out there engaging in conflict, trying to make sure that these babies is getting what they got coming to them, because they are our future. We can't give up on them. Those of you who are in positions right now, political positions and positions of power from whatever you are part of, we need your help.
Absolutely. We'll never give up on them, man. I got guys when I was young that mentored me. Shout out to Fillmore White,
Yes.
Herbert Miller,
Yes.
Joe Crawford, and them just a few of my coaches that I had. But those guys right now I'm still in contact with.
Yes.
Those guys I've been knowing since about 5 or 6 years old, that I'm still in contact.
Right.
They planted a seed in me that could never leave.
Yes.
And going to continue to grow.
Yes.
It's going to continue to grow, and I'm just all about the communities, man. We got to save our communities.
From one end of Oakland to the other. So we basically saying from Sabrani Park all the way down to the west and all the way up to the north and through Berkeley and even Richmond. Yes. It's a conflict. It's a real conflict that's going on. And if we was to poll 15 youngsters, 15, because there's a thing where you tell somebody at the beginning of the line, and by the time it get to the end of the person on the opposite end, they don't know what the hell they talking about. That's what's going on with a lot of this ignorance out here. Y'all out here funking and don't even know why. Imagine that. You got put in something and really don't know why you involved. And then the sad part is when you sitting in the penitentiary trying to figure out how in the hell you got there, that's when it's going to hit you.
Absolutely. And shout out to Mr. Fab, man. He touching brothers with this mental health thing
No
he
doubt.
got going on.
No doubt.
That's a big thing. I love what the brother doing.
No doubt.
I want to give a shout out to my brother at Tees, Travell. I love what he doing.
Yes.
He supporting me and my football team and my foundation 100%.
Yes.
I appreciate you, brother. But, man, we need to buy our blocks back. We need to buy our neighborhoods back.
No doubt.
We need to own our own gyms, our own fields,
No
our
doubt.
own buildings.
Yes.
So we can house our people.
Yes.
That's what we need to do. That's what we need to come together as African Americans and
Yes.
start buying our communities. Because, we here for the community, but, these communities we don't own.
No, and it's sad because, having been removed from the streets for nearly 3 decades, and to come back and see what it is today, and literally nobody that I know lives in my community that I'm familiar with, it's sad.
Yes.
It's sad, and it's a lack of knowledge that wasn't passed down. And I don't point no fingers or knock nobody, but when certain people got to dying off, and those houses was left to that other branch of generation, they wasn't financially understanding of what they had in order to keep it. So when they saw the opportunity to sell, they sold. And unfortunately, they didn't even peep it, that as they were selling, 5 or 6 houses was being sold down the street. And once you looked up, you didn't recognize nobody in the neighborhood no more, just that fast. Absolutely. That's how it happened. Absolutely. And so now it's like, to get that back, I don't see it. I really don't. And that's the sad part, because once they got a hold of it, they ain't letting it go.
No. That was their plan.
Yeah.
That was the plan to buy us out.
Yeah.
And some of us sold out, include myself.
Yes.
So, but we gotta buy that back, or whatever we can buy, we need to buy it back, and we need to build wealth for these youngsters where they can have somewhere to go, so, they won't be discriminated on when they come to the park.
Right.
But now, the neighborhoods that we from, our youngsters go to them neighborhoods and they looking at them like, why you here?
Right. And here it is. This is a park I was raised at.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's crazy. Like, are you kidding me? I grew up right here.
Right here.
You know what I'm saying? This is what I know. You just came over here.
Just got
It's
here.
sad, but it's a raw reality of of a real tragic mistake that our community has made with that lack of information. But now it's these kind of formats right here that we got where we give that type of information. Because they cut our information off years ago when they cut the Black Panthers off. That was real vital information, you know what I mean? And the Black Liberation Army, shout out. When they cut these type of entities off, that cut off our information. And so now it is upon us sitting here in this form to continue to keep this information valid so individuals can take it, they can walk with it, they can learn from it, and they can produce. We are the Unstoppable Stewards every Monday from 3 to 4, pushing the line, a real hard line on this Twitch TV Twitch.tv/Bay Life Radio all day, every day. Feel us, because what we talking about is something that you can take to heart. You can put it in your pocket. You can walk with it, especially about these kids. We got information that can really help your kids through sports and through information that I got with these these school districts to get your kid tested. If you feel like your kid is being neglected, everything from suspensions to being placed in detention centers to kind of like being the outcast in the classroom, tap in with us. We will assist you and get you some understanding and some clarity as to whether or not your child is really as crazy as these people are saying that they are, because 9 times out of 10 they ain't.
Right. Knowledge is king. Knowledge is king. Let's start educating our people. Let's start educating these young folks.
Absolutely.
Let's start talking to them. Let's start riding with them. Let's start eating dinner with them.
Yes.
Just show them a new life, a better life. I'm not going to say a new life because I don't know what they're getting at, all of them getting at home.
Right.
But just let's show them we love them and we here for them. But let's just educate them and feed them with the knowledge that we know, because we kicking a whole lot of knowledge on this show right now.
Right.
And shout out to the Unstoppable Stewards.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Thank you.
I'm just blessed and happy to be here, brother.
Yes.
And I appreciate what you and your wife are doing.
Absolutely.
You know, for me and everybody else, giving us this platform to understand and to learn, you know.
That's what it's about.
That's what it's all about. Because we don't know everything.
No.
You know?
And don't play like we do.
Yeah.
But because of this platform, it's imperative of people like us who know better to serve it to people who need to know better to do better.
And just talking to you right now, I just learned a lot that
Absolutely.
I didn't know.
Yes.
You know, that I didn't know. You know, so
that information is power.
Yes, and we keep educating ourselves with these type of platforms.
Yes.
Hey, I'm telling you,
Sky's the limit.
We can change the world.
Yes.
Trust me.
So tune in and feel it, love it, hear it, know it.
Yes.
Unstoppable Stewards at you all day, every day.
Fellas, I just wanted to ask a question. I'm sitting here listening. I'm loving the podcast.
Yes.
How do you connect? What do you say directly to quote unquote troubled kids or kids they label as troubled kids? When you get a first hand to talk to them, what are some of the things you say like directly to them right then? I'm asking this question because I deal with a lot of youngsters as far as in the music.
Right.
And I try a whole lot of different ways. And a lot of ways people tell me it's a little too tough. So I'll be liking to get advice from other men that talk to kids in the same situation.
You know, a lot of the way that a kid acts out is about pride and ego. So these kids might be in front of somebody when you asking them these questions, and they feel like if they show any sense of vulnerability, that they are no longer, who they are, because they play invincible realities with they counterparts. And so when you pull one to the side and you really engage in a conversation, a heartfelt conversation, you get heartfelt answers. So what I've done dealing with children in school is I've watched them, they cat out in front of their peers. They even go in on some of the teachers. But then when I get them to the side and we get to really talking about, you know what I'm saying, the meat and potatoes of what's really going on in their life, then they open up. And next thing I know, I got a whole bunch of putty in my hand because they a mess. They needed to release that energy. But it's a progression. It's slow. It's sometimes you might get a little resistance, but you as the individual who you are, you just wait. And eventually you're going to catch them at that moment to where they're going to want to reveal themselves. And when they do, you have to be there to hear it. That's the one thing. Key thing to everything is to be able to listen, because they got a lot to say and they need to say it, and you can't interrupt them, as crazy as this going to sound.
And my approach, man, I always tell them my first thing I say, man, I love you. I'm not going to judge you. You know, I'm not here to judge you, you know, and I ask them, you know, what's going on, how you feel. And, you know, a lot of them open up, but what I notice, a lot of them have low self-esteem and trying to be somebody they not, and it's all an act. It's the ones that's been bullied, and then all of a sudden they trying to act tough.
Yeah.
You know, it's the ones that really can't read and act a fool in class.
Right.
You know, so they won't have to read. You know, they always try to change the narratives.
Exactly.
You know, but the one thing that I get out of them, you know, is when I tell them I love them,
Yes.
I hug them,
Yes.
and I say, you know, let's go eat. Let's go
Right.
grab something to eat, or I'll pick you up for football practice. We'll sit in the car on the way to practice. We'll talk, and they just start opening up. Once they start trusting you, you have to build that trust, because when you start attacking them,
Yes.
man, they gon' shut down. You know, so I do not judge them. You know, and I get a lot up out of them. You know, just by letting them know, man, I love you. I'm here for you.
Yes.
Here's my number. If you got, you know, have any problems, let me know. And it's amazing that I get calls like at 10 o'clock,
Right.
9 o'clock at night,
Yes.
11 o'clock. Hey, little Johnny acting a fool, but he don't want to talk to nobody but you.
Right.
You know, he don't want
Right.
to talk to nobody but you, Coach.
Right.
Or Coach, little Johnny doing this, can you talk to him?
Right.
You know, because little Johnny know that he trusts me.
Right.
You know, and he trusts me with his secrets.
Right.
So I built that friendship with him and that trust, and I think it works for me.
Yes.
You know, it works for me. You know,
I
because
get it.
A lot of kids, like I said, they suffer from a lot of trauma.
Yeah, they do.
A lot of trauma.
And
You
they ain't
don't
got
know.
nobody to talk to.
They don't have nobody to talk to.
That's the cold thing. You just imagine to yourself, like, you got all this bottled up and you ain't got nobody that you feel like you can tell it to.
Yes. Just think of somebody telling you every day, you bad,
Man.
you a troublemaker, you
Yes.
bad,
Right.
you bad, you a troublemaker. What's that's going to do?
Absolutely.
That's going to make you start more trouble and act even worse if somebody plant that seed
Yes.
and they don't believe in you. They not
Exactly.
encouraging you. They not lifting you up.
Right.
Right? So you're gonna try to tear somebody else down because
Exactly.
you're getting torn down. Hurt people. That's why we gotta lift these kids up and stop
That's
judging
fact.
them.
That's fact.
Yes, sir.
And that's all day, every day.
Yes,
Here at the
sir.
Unstoppable Stewards, you hearing it first every Monday from 3 to 4 p.m. You know what I'm saying? We're giving it to you raw. Loving the energy.
Yes.
Loving the energy, man.
Yes.
Because that's what this whole program is about. It's about being informed and information.
Absolutely.
You gotta know what you know, but you gotta be able to understand that from a different approach, you can get it just a tad bit better.
Absolutely. And I know religion ain't for everybody.
No.
But sometimes you need to teach these kids the word of God.
Yes.
You got to install the word of God in these kids. You have to pray for these kids.
Yes.
You got to lay hands on these kids because the devil is real. I'm telling you,
He
Satan,
running rapid
man,
all day, every day.
And now, you guys, These kids are worshiping the devil.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. You don't have to believe me. But I'm telling you, they worship the devil.
Don't play with God if you want to here at the Unstoppable Stewards.
Absolutely.
Because we know better.
Absolutely.
You know, I am a true witness. I went through it. I was a severe asshole, doing everything under the sun that I was not supposed to be doing. And literally, the reason why I'm sitting on this podcast today is because of God. Yes. It's no other reason that I am sitting here. So trust me when I tell you that I am real, I exist. But I was thrown away in 1996, given 60 years to life. I know what that's like. And I was able to persevere and come back and not be so-called institutionalized. And I speak on that because now where I am in my walk is about helping these kids, because I was out here an instructive kid myself. I'm no longer that person, but I know who that person is. I identify with them. So when I speak from experience. I don't speak as a person who knows absolutely nothing what you're going through. So when you call me and I'm going to give you real life lessons. No play, no sugar added, no preservatives. Real life information, because if we don't live on reality and what we supposed to know because we want to dumb it down to try to influence somebody, we are sadly crippling that person mentally, and that's not cool.
Absolutely. We give God the glory. Glory be to God. And I believe I'm sitting here next to my brother because of God.
Absolutely.
He got me here for a reason.
Yes.
I could be dead and gone. You know, I could have got hit by a car coming here. You know, but God fit. He set for me to be here today, and I'm gracious.
I mean, it's his level of understanding for man, period, knowing that we are all flawed, but yet and still he still loves us, is something that is just, you can't wrap your head around it. And for us, all of us are sinners. We've all done things we have no business doing, but every day we get up, and we get up now with a purpose, and our purpose is literally out here to help these kids from different angles, like the triangle I spoke about, the sports, the education, and then we need moms and pops to really engage and understand what we trying to do for your babies. So if you see this podcast and you know of a child that you say is bad as hell, he just on one, or she on one, she don't listen, tap in, get at us, because Lord and behold, you just be surprised with the information we could give you to help your child be successful. On that note, peace.
Peace, peace, peace.
Percent of people are not willing to do what it takes to make their dreams come true. The Marines have a saying, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. The center of bringing any dream into fruition is self-discipline. You know, something as simple as food and eating. It's not about your body as much as it is about your mind. It's getting command of your mind to be able to choose actions that are in your own best interest. Every day we are choosing shit that's not in our own best interest. So if the world is attacking you and the world wants to fight you and the world's trying to hold you down, so you're gonna kick yourself in the balls? So you're gonna stop yourself from getting what you dream. And I think the word discipline has kind of gotten a bad name. We think about it in terms of punishment. I'm not talking about discipline in that way. I'm talking about discipline in the sense that you forego immediate pleasure for the exchange of long-term self-respect. I believe that self-discipline is the definition of self-love. That when you say that you love yourself, that means that you have behavior towards yourself that is loving. Self-discipline is the center of all material success. You cannot win the war against the world if you can't win the war against your own mind.